Well, greetings and good morning, BUS24 students. This is Mr.D, and this is week number 4 in our 8-week course online business communications. This week, you're going to be looking at chapter 5 on short workplace messages and digital media. So you're going to be talking a little bit and starting with emails and kind of the purpose and place of emails. You're also going to be looking at instant messaging and blogging and tweeting and all that kind of stuff. Dealing with office networks and things like that. And so how communication happens in those workplace messages, short workplace messages, again, emails and texting and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and look at what assignments that you're going to be working on this week. Here we are on our homepage in Canvas. And by the way, we are kind of starting the module now of business writing. So I want to make you aware that we're going to be covering that topic this next 2 weeks, these next modules. So the second module starts today. As you know, you finished yesterday your individual presentation and your discussion post number 1. So that's finished. By the way, I usually give you a week to kind of get in there and begin to look at other students' presentations, because part of that assignment requires that you not only upload yours, but that you also view and comment on at least 2 other students' presentations. So I'm going to give you this week, before I start diving into grade those, that you would actually go in and view each other's presentations and make some comments. And I will not grade yours unless you've commented on at least 2 other students' presentations. So please do that this week. Your other discussion post I will be grading this week, so be watching for that grade. But as we move into module 2, as I mentioned, now we're going to be talking about business writing. And so the chapters that you're going to be looking at are going to predominantly be looking at that. Not that you haven't already began to look at chapters on that content, but this week you're going to be looking at, again, chapter 5. It kind of deals with emails and things like that. And then next week you're going to be looking at chapter 6 and 7, which deals with negative news, dealing with negative news and routine business communications within an office. And so this week also you'll begin your first business document. So chapter 5 not only covers emails, it also covers memos. And that's what you're going to be creating this week, is a memo for your assignment. So I just want to point out right off the bat here, I do have a video that I've already recorded on business writing. It's essentially going to be the same thing that I'm going to cover in the Zoom session on Thursday. The only difference at the Zoom session is you get to ask questions, and I can answer your questions in real time. And I'm also going to be going over not only the do's and don'ts of business writing, but I'm also going to be going over the first writing assignment, which is a memo on floating holidays that you're going to be doing. So I might actually change the memo. We'll see, because I know we have a little bit of time. I kind of wanted to make it, actually, this is a good one to use because it would come from a manager, and this is managerial communication. So if you're going to send a memo to all of your employees or all of those that are under your preview as a manager, then this would be a good memo to do. You're going to tell them about how there's now floating holidays that they can partake of and be a part of. And use. So you're going to explain that to them. So anyway, the main thing here, though, is that you format it like a memo and that you utilize what we call text design to improve readability. So make sure you note that. I believe it's in this chapter that you're going to be looking at that. But nonetheless, I'll cover it all in the business writing Zoom session, and I already covered it in the business writing video that's right here. So either one, join me on Thursday. I'd love to have you. And then again, I also have a PowerPoint right here that shows you how to format a memo. And there's also great examples throughout your book on how to format a memo. And I believe I even have some samples of some memos in the writing assignment instructions. So there should be no reason why you don't format it like a memo. I'm giving you more than one opportunity to know how to do that. But that is very important. It must be formatted like a memo and not have anything the memo should not have in it, and not including what a memo should. So make sure you review that PowerPoint demonstration. That was actually a teaching demonstration I did at another college, and I got hired there, and now I'm here. That was years before. You have a check-in assignment on Chapter 5. You have a quiz on Chapter 5, just answering questions. And then you're going to be starting your next discussion post, which is the do's and don'ts of business writing. I will be covering that in the Zoom session as well, but the same idea follows here as you had last one. You're going to be making your initial list. So I would just sit down and go, what makes a good business document, and just come up with your own list. It's not just how it reads, it's also how it looks. So keep those two things in mind. And then make your list, and then other students will make their lists, and then you'll watch my video or my Zoom session to join me in that. And then you'll update your list for the final list next week. So that's the goal of that assignment. It's a multiple input assignment. You don't just do it once. You do your initial list, you comment on other students' lists, and then you make your final list. So make sure you follow that order. And then you have your first writing assignment, and I'll be going over that in great detail in the Zoom session as well. I actually may even have some samples to show you in the Zoom session of what a memo should look like and what I'll be looking for in the format of your documents. So that's it for week number 4. Again, this week, by the way, marks our halfway point. Even though it's the beginning of a new module, it marks the halfway point in the course. This module, I believe, is 3 weeks long. Let me see. 3 weeks long, and then we start module number 3 is the last 2 weeks of the course, which is employment communications, resume, cover letter, stuff like that. So, all right, well, that's it. Have a great week, everyone, and you will see me on video again next week, or hopefully at the Zoom session on Thursday.